Hey guys, it's Beth. Welcome back to my channel, and today is the first Saturday in April, and that means it's also time for my Crafty Goals progress update for the month of March, and this is part of the Crafty Goals with Amalia collaboration here on YouTube. There will be a list of participants in the description box below, so please be sure to check out their goals and see what they're up to as well. So March was very interesting, as I'm sure you all experienced as well. Things were canceled all over the place. My girls, they closed school we had spring break at the end of March anyway, but they closed school 1 week before spring break. So we had 1 week of homeschooling and then just a lot of downtime, which is good. And I kind of feel like we needed that because we've been really kind of running everywhere for months on end. So it was good for us. And I took a lot of my anxious energy about things that were going on and put it towards crafting. So I feel like March was a very productive crafty month for me. And plus my girls love to craft, and since they were home so much more, like we did a lot of crafting together. And I know that there were some other people who didn't do much crafting in March just because of everything that's going on, kind of had them worried and uncertain. And so anxiety works different ways for different people. I am one, I have always just thrown myself into something else, you know, whether it's working or cleaning or some other type of activity, just something that kind of takes my mind off of it. I kind of channel that energy and put it towards something else. But I know there's other people that shut down, and there are times where I have to kind of fight that and push through. Like there's been times where I can't shut down, and so I've had to push through. So I've kind of learned how to push through and use my energy kind of in a different way. Anyway, but I hope everyone is safe and healthy and well, and that everybody is getting along okay in their homes and trying to make the best of this slower time that we're all having, whether it's crafting or quality time with your family or getting stuff done around the house that you've been meaning to do for a while, or taking advantage of this warmer weather that hopefully everyone is having and getting some stuff done outside. Okay, with that being said, I will get into what I have done in March. So my first goal is to use up at least one paper pad or collection in each month, and I did do that in March. I finished off my 8x8 paper pad from Echo Park. It was the Dots and Stripes spring pad, and this was part of my Smash That Small paper pad collab with Deb Hawk's Crafty Cottage, and I got a lot of cards out of it, some bookmarks, scrapbook pages, and some Easter decor. So finished that one off. That was a lot of fun. Loved the springy pastels and the polka dots. And embellishments, my next goal is to use up at least one embellishment. I did use up a lot of embellishments in March as part of the different collaborations that I was in. I didn't save everything, but if you go back through some of the other videos that I've had, I've done a video on everything that I've created, and most of it was either part of my Use It Up 2020 challenge or the Smash That Small paper pad collaboration, because most of the embellishments that I used were spring themed. And then I'm going to jump down to goal number 5, which was to use up at least one sticker sheet. And I did end up using at least 8. I kind of lost track somewhere along the way towards the end of the month. But a lot of those were spring themed as well, and I used them in conjunction with this pad. And then I also did some Christmas stickers that I used on my 10 on the 10th cards for the 10 on the 10th card collab with Metal Scrap and Chick. So I did use up quite a bit of embellishments from my stash, not my staff. I have no staff. It's just me. From my stash this month, and a lot of them were like old embellishments, so it felt really good to get those guys out of my drawer. So I'm going to jump back here to goal number 3, which is to complete at least 5 personal scrapbook pages. And I did 9 this month, so that was good. And again, some of those were things that I used. I made at least one page out of one of the card kits I used. I made some with the Dots and Stripes pad, and then I also made some other ones. And again, those have all been shown. I've already done videos on those, so I didn't want to show them to you again. But goal number 4 is to make 10 Christmas cards, and that's part of that 10 on the 10th card collab with Metal Scrap and Chick. And I ended up making 29 this month because the papers that I pulled out, I thought I needed more than I did, and made 10 cards easily and then had tons of paper left. And in my current mode of use it up, I could not bring myself to just put it back in my stash, so I went ahead and made cards until it was all used up. So that came to 29 cards. So, and then I talked about the sticker sheet, which is goal number 5. Goal number 6 is to clean my craft studio, and I just left it as a goal, but that means at least cleaning it once a month. And my daughters and I did work hard this month trying to get stuff cleaned up, and I have actually, you can see most of the surface in my craft room right now, which is really good. And I'm hoping if I can keep it clean, then I can actually do a craft room tour, because normally I can't keep it clean long enough between me and the girls to actually do a tour. But I did, we kind of rearranged a few things and then got stuff cleaned up, so that feels good. There's a lot of open surface that we can all have room to craft on now. Goal number 7 is to use up at least one upcycle item from my stash. And upcycle items are things like wooden shapes or ceramic tiles or some type of box or frame or something that I picked up either from a craft store or from a thrift store or a garage sale that I thought I could upcycle or use in another project some way. So what I did this month is I actually added, I've had a bunch of shirts kind of stacked under one of my counters for over a year of shirts that I intended to make, for me, and then one for my husband. And they just kept piling up, and I kept thinking, oh, I'll make them when I have time, and I never had time. So finally I decided that's it. Since things have slowed down this month, March is the month that I'm going to finally make some of these shirts. So I did. I made 6 of them. One of them I can't find because it's in my husband's closet, laundry somewhere. But one of them I have already shown you, and I will put a picture in here below because I'm actually wearing it, so I can't just show you the shirt. But some of the shirts are like Crafty related, and then some of them are just other things that I've wanted to do. So this is a pullover that is my husband's. We picked it up at Target sometime this past year, and he really enjoys Butler basketball, Butler University, and so I just added a cute little white Butler Bulldog image using white heat transfer vinyl to his pullover. And then for me, I made one of the things that as Bourbon Creek Crafts that we do to sell is we make state home block sets, like with the home letters, and then for the O we put whatever state, the person's from, or we do just about all 50 states. And so, but the thing is that we do the letters out of wood grain patterns. And so I actually found some wood grain heat transfer vinyl 2 years ago, and I had been wanting to make me a shirt or a sweatshirt with it for a long time, and so I just did the home letters. This is the same style of letters we use on our blocks, and then I added Bourbon Creek down here just kind of as another advertisement of what we do. So I thought that was fun, and hopefully can get a lot of wear. It's a short sleeve shirt that I think I just picked up at Walmart, really thin. I wouldn't recommend them for I have to layer. I have to wear something underneath it because it's so thin. But anyway, hopefully I can get some wear out of that this summer. And then I've had a bunch of sweatshirts in my stash and decided I needed to do those while I can still wear the sweatshirts. This is just a gray Tech Gear sweatshirt that I had picked up from Kohl's on clearance, I think, at one point. And I'm going to zoom out just a tad here. So when I found that wood grain vinyl, I had also found some red and black buffalo check vinyl. And so I just took some of that and made the state of Indiana on my sweatshirt because I love the buffalo check. And then I did Another long sleeve black t-shirt, and something I had found on serious sale at Kohl's. It's cropped and barrel, nice and thick, I love it, and just did Bourbon Creek. And then the last one is one of my favorites, and it's a pink tee, and it's from Walmart, so again, it's really thin. But this one says, "Paper makes me happy," and I did the paper and some glittered silver heat transfer vinyl, and then the rest of it in white. So that one is fun. So those are the items that I kind of upcycled or decorated out of my stash. So it's nice to have that pile of clothes out from under my counter. Goal number 8 is to figure out how to organize my daughter's craft supplies, and I think we've got that figured out. There was some drawers in a different part of my craft studio that I adapted to fit my oldest daughter's papers so that she could kind of store them a little bit differently than my younger daughter. So all of Ellie's embellishments and papers of various sizes are in those drawers. And then my other daughter has her paper and embellishments just kind of all thrown together in one drawer. So I feel like we're good. They seem to craft much better now. It's easier to find things. So hopefully that continues to work out. And the next goal is to finish scrapbooking my 2012-13 pictures by the end of this year. And most of the pages that I did this month were from 2013, so that worked out. I was able to carry those check marks down. Goal number 10 is to develop some kits to use up some of my paper and supplies. And last month I had kind of gone through my loose paper and kind of sorted them a little bit better and figured out which ones that I have a bunch of. So like if you buy the clearance paper at Hobby Lobby, a lot of times you get multiple of the same sheet. And so since I tend to buy a lot of those, like I've kind of amassed huge quantities of the same sheet. So I kind of pulled those out and figured out what I can maybe put together as kits to use up some of those bigger quantities. And then this month, I did figure out how to, in April, in the past few days, I have actually put together a kit that just makes some different themed cards. So in April, I can at least check it off that I did actually create a kit out of some of that paper. Goal number 11 is to create at least 10 block sets per week, and I averaged out to more than that. And goal number 12 is to average at least 3 YouTube videos per week. Oh, I forgot to check that off, but I had 13. So I did that. And then goal number 14 is to use up at least 1 kit that's in my stash. And this month I actually did 2. I might have done 3, because I'm trying to remember. I finished off the January 2020 Flavor of the Month kit, and I don't remember if I did that at the end of February or if that was actually in April. I know the video posted in March, sorry. And then I did do an older Flavor of the Month kit from April of 2018, I think. And then I finished off the March 2020 Flavor of the Month kit as well. So got several kits out of my stash and had a lot of fun with those. So that's kind of what I've done this month. And then I've also started tracking some stats. And I kind of got this idea from Christy Marcotte. She was tracking, some stats as well. And so I kind of adapted it for the different things that I wanted to track. So in March, I made at least 164 cards. Again, towards the end of the month, for some reason, I stopped tracking things. I was just like in production mode, and then I would move on and I'd forget to write things down or figure out what I had used up. So I know I made at least 164 cards in March. I only sent out 3, and that's because I've been trying to at least send 1 out per week to my dad, and then one of those weeks my daughters had actually drawn some pictures or made a card or something, so that was the card we sent. And then scrapbook pages, I made 9. I posted 13 videos in March, and I ended up making 73 block sets in March. So just kind of interesting for me to see how this quantifies like what I've actually done for the month. So that is what I did in March. And as far as April goes, I have picked some new pads for Smash That Small Paper pad. I am finishing up the Canta pad by GCD, and I'm doing some process videos on those. And then I have another pad lined up after that. And I have picked out my items for the Use It Up 2020 challenge as well, which this month I am focusing on my massive scrap box. So that kind of allows me to play with all kinds of different paper this month, not just any particular theme. And so that's kind of, I don't plan on being able to use up the whole box of scraps, but I would like to make a dent in that box of scraps. And like I did at least one card kit. Maybe I can try and get another card kit made. But that's it. I'm hoping that April will be productive as well. The weather's getting nicer though. So like yesterday I was outside most of the day. So it's kind of hard to balance out the need for crafting and wanting to enjoy that fresh air. But hopefully I can still be productive, and I know my girls are going to be doing e-learning at home for the rest of the school year, so we have one more week of spring break, and then we will have to pick up with the e-learning, so we'll see how all that plays out. But anyway, that's how I've done. That's my Crafty Goals update. Let me know how all of you are doing on your goals. I'd love to see how March went for you, whether it was good or bad because of the whole epidemic and, changes and uncertainty. And thank you guys so much for your time today. Like I said, I hope everybody's doing well and is staying healthy through all of this. But thank you for your time. Thank you for continuing to support me and for all of the love that you sent my way. And I hope you guys are finding some time and energy to be crafty as well. Take care.